What's going on, guys? I'm Coach Hayes, back inside the 8th Street Gym, and I want to welcome you to another edition of Mobility Mondays, powered by Once Upon a Coconut. You know, it's Monday, it's the start of a new week. For a lot of athletes out there, for a lot of programs, Monday is squat day, and for good reason. If I had to pick one exercise to build lower body power, strength, muscle, and athletic performance, I'm gonna choose the squat every time. We're talking about one of the most effective, most efficient exercises that we can do to become bigger, stronger, and faster. And if you're trying to get from where you are today to a bigger, stronger, more powerful version of yourself, it's gonna be hard to find a better roadmap than the squat. And if we're talking the ultimate exercise, then we need the ultimate prep routine for that exercise. We need the most effective, most efficient way to prepare our bodies. We're not talking about the longest routine, we're talking about the best routine. In today's episode, I'm gonna show you the ultimate pre-squat mobility routine, 8th Street Gym style. 5 go-to drills that give us the biggest bang for our buck before we hit our squat. And we're gonna break them down right here in the 8th Street Gym right now. Let's go. Hey, before we get into today's drills, I want to give a huge shout out to Once Upon a Coconut for powering this series and for hooking us up here in the 8th Street Gym. I know today there's a ton of sports drinks out there and it can get a little overwhelming, but coconut water has always been nature's very own sports drink. Once Upon a Coconut has figured out a way to put that into a can, and they absolutely nailed it. The flavors are all incredible. It's refreshing. I use it pre-workout, during my intra-workout, and even during my post-workout shake with my personal favorite, the chocolate version. Mix that with a little vanilla protein. I'm telling you, if you don't know, you better find out. It is awesome. If you're looking for a better way to stay hydrated, definitely check these guys out. Appreciate the love. For our first drill, we want to start with the ankles. We want to do a foot elevated band distraction ankle opener. We're gonna grab a band, place our foot inside, and we're gonna place that foot on top of a plyo box or a bench. From here, we're gonna keep that heel glued down and we're gonna push that knee as far forward as we can. I love this drill because the band helps restore the ankle's natural joint mechanics by creating a distraction force that helps the front limb glide backward and opens up space at the front of the ankle. This allows our knees to travel further over our toes, improves our dorsiflexion, and reduces that block or pinching feeling a lot of us get when we try to hit our squat depth. Not only is this exercise opening up our ankles, you talk about bang for your buck here, those hips are getting some great work too. The front hip sinking down, getting some good hip flexion. That back leg lengthened out, I'm extending that hip flexor, opening that up. I'm almost in this Spider-Man stretch as I'm performing this exercise. And that's what we want here in this routine. We're choosing efficient and effective exercises that can get us multiple things happening with just one exercise. Foot elevated, band distraction, ankle opener. We want 8 to 10 controlled, smooth reps, working that knee over the toe. For our second drill, we got goblet squat with prying. We need a slant board or some way to elevate the back of our heels in a light to medium sized kettlebell or any weight that you got. That kettlebell, it helps us sink into that bottom position without losing posture. I want to stay nice and tall, sink down into that bottom squat position. From here, I'm prying my knees open with my elbows, opening up those hips and groin. I'm leaning forward side to side. I'm getting comfortable in that bottom position. Not only are we opening up ankles, groin, hips, we're reinforcing the exact position we're about to be in under load. We want 5 to 8 reps where I'm going down in that deep squat, hanging out there, coming back up, resetting before we hit our next rep. For our next exercise, we got band-assisted reverse Nordics. This is where mobility starts blending into that performance realm. Since we're talking squats, a quad-dominant exercise, we don't just want to improve mobility. I want to fire up and strengthen those muscles that we're about to work. So now that light switch in our quad muscles are turned on before we get underneath that bar. Reverse Nordics build strength through a long range of motion. They wake up the quads, and one of the best exercises we can do to improve knee health. The other benefit of this exercise, check my ankles. I want to flatten the toes towards the ground. As I lean back with the help of that band, I'm getting in plantar flexion. We spend a lot of time in dorsiflexion. We don't always focus on that plantar flexion part of the foot. Almost performing a reverse ankle sit. So now I'm getting that lengthened range of motion in our quads, and I'm getting that nice ankle stretch, plantar flexion style with my feet. We want 5 to 8 slow and controlled reps here, letting that band help us get back to that start position. Again, one drill, multiple benefits. Drill number 4, we got band face pull with external rotation. A great squat isn't just about the lower body. See, our upper back and shoulders, we gotta open up and create a stable shelf for the bar to sit on. We gotta remain proud with our chest throughout the entire range of motion. Hey, we've all seen that lifter who's holding onto the bar with just their fingertips because they can't comfortably get their hands around it. Or the one who looks like it's World War III every time they try to get underneath the bar. A lot of times, that's not a squat problem. It's an upper back and shoulder mobility problem. That's why I love face pulls with that extra cherry on top we're calling external rotation. They wake up the upper back, strengthen the rotator cuff, and help you earn a stronger, more comfortable bar position before your first rep. For this drill, we want a good 10 to 12 reps with a nice squeeze at the top of each rep. Because the squat should be the actual hard part, not trying to get underneath the bar. And our last drill, drill number 5, we got med ball, hip, internal rotation squeezes. All we need is a light med ball and a flat surface like the floor or a bench. We're gonna lay down with our back pressed against the floor, that med ball in between our knees, and the first thing I wanna do is drive my low back into the floor. I wanna treat this like a dead bug. That's gonna create core stability. One of the number one things we need when we squat. From here, I'm squeezing my knees into that med ball, firing up my groin. Now, I'm taking one foot and I'm trying to separate it as far from my center of mass as possible, and I'm gonna hold for 3 seconds. This is gonna really fire up our hips because we're working something that often gets neglected. Everybody talks about opening up the hips and hip external rotation. But our hips, we need a healthy balance of both. If you're lacking internal rotation, it's gonna be much harder for us to find a comfortable, stable bottom position in that squat. We got core stability. We got hip internal rotation. We got a lot of things happening in our favor with this exercise. We want 3 to 5 reps each leg. All right, there you have it. The ultimate pre-squat mobility routine in just 5 exercises. I told you, this routine is not about the most exercises or the longest routine. It's about finding the most effective and efficient way to get ourselves ready for one of the most ultimate exercises we can do. We're talking more bang for our buck, less wasted time, better movement, better positioning, and overall better squat. Hey, if you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned to the 8th Street Gym YouTube channel because there's a lot more where that came from. Are you kidding me? Mobility Mondays, the ultimate squat routine, just 5 drills? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drills, 5 drills, 5 drills. 5 drills? Are you nuts? Mobility Monday, 8th Street Gym? Come on, let's go.
Cocoa Beach heat, yeah, we bring that feel. Sweat drips down like the Florida sun. Every rep, every set, that's how it's done.